I'm Emily Redding, and I'm going to be talking about arthritis today. I'm going to actually start off by talking about my story. So, when I was about 11 years old, I started to feel like the symptoms, and so I started to not be able to walk as well. Like my knees were swelling really bad, and I just didn't have enough energy. And so at first, I actually went to my mom, and she had told me that I might have broken a part of my bone in my leg. And so we went to see a bone doctor. And so they did an x-ray, and he's like, I'll put you in a full leg cast anyway. And so I had to wear that for about 2 weeks. The swelling did die down, but I still didn't have enough energy to do anything. And I still couldn't move. I could barely even go to the bathroom. And so I was feeling helpless. I didn't have enough energy. I didn't even have the energy to do homework. And so my grades were also failing as well. And so that was a really big deal in my life and how that affected me and my family. And so since that didn't even really help all that much, the leg brace, we ended up going to my family doctor, and she ended up doing some tests and took some blood and figured out that indeed I had arthritis as well as my father. And so the doctor gave us these list of doctors and was like, here's a few that I recommend. And so we had talked to some people of our friends who knew all those big health areas and hospitals. And so we talked about it, and we realized that the closest one and the best one is in Charleston, South Carolina. Now keep in mind, I live in the upstate of South Carolina, so that's a 4-hour drive. For a kid with arthritis, just having arthritis, if you sit still, it hurts worse. And so sitting in a car for 4 hours just made everything more real and more painful. And so once we got there, he gave me some medicine, took all the background family, and helped me get better. And so I went to see him every 6 months. And then once I finally turned 16, there was finally a family doctor 30 minutes down the road in Greenville. And so I ended up going there, and it's been much easier. I've gotten much better, and I've been able to move more and have more energy. My grades are back up. But the main thing is, it's a chronic illness. It doesn't go away. There is no cure for arthritis. And so realizing that as a kid, that I'm going to have this for the rest of my life and have restrictions on me, changes a lot of your point of view. And so when I was a kid, I wanted to do a lot of stuff, and realizing that you can't do that hurts you in more ways than one. And so I started researching arthritis and everything. And so just a basic history is that arthritis, there's many kinds of arthritis. There's rheumatoid, gout, osteoarthritis, JIA, and the main one that most people have is osteoarthritis. And when you hear arthritis, that's the one that you actually think of. It's the wear and tear of your joints, and mainly it's just that the joint itself is the cartilage in between the joints is going away, and so it's ending up being bone and bone, making you have to have total knee replacement, which is a last resort in all kinds of situations. And so rheumatoid arthritis is a similar one, but it is the worst arthritis there is. And that's what my father had. And rheumatoid is just all the symptoms that I described earlier: painful, inflammation, and it just restricts everything with fatigue and the lack of anything, any energy. And so having all that helps you realize that there are people who go on with all of these diseases. And just knowing that helps you be more clear on how people have to deal with life. And so, after all of this information, there's one thing that I have yet to talk about. It's the prevention. You can actually attempt to prevent it, or at least prevent to get it worse, to not let it get worse. And so, one of the main things that you hear from doctors is exercise. I cannot tell you how important exercise is for arthritis. The main thing that when my dad told me when I had arthritis and I was first diagnosed was don't stop moving. If you stop, it'll get worse. And then you can't do anything. You'll be stuck in a wheelchair and you can't move and you'll have to have everybody else help you. And that is the worst thing you want to have done, is not be able to do things on your own. And so that got me out of bed. And so I started to walk, and just walking helped. Just walking up and down the street and back up to the house. Granted, it tired me out, but I did have more energy in the long run. And another thing that doctors tell you is to eat right. The main thing for arthritis is don't eat fried foods. I mean, you can eat Chinese food, you can eat sushi, but one of the main things is you can't eat fries and burgers and hot dogs, all the good southern food that we love. Arthritis will actually get worse because of what's in those foods worsens the arthritis. And so with all of this information, I hope you can have learned a lot of information. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.